This is the Neighbors for Neighbors Summer Special. Join us now as we share with you moments with our neighbors, moments that empowered, moments that rocked,
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
moments that healed.
You saw how he came towards the van. He recognizes the van, he recognizes the people in it, and he does trust us.
To tell us more about these moments and others, here's your host, Cynthia Demas.
Thank you for joining us once again for our annual summer special. Every summer, we gather some of the best stories we've been working on and meet right here to share them with you. Some of the stories you may have never heard about because they happen really kind of behind the scenes every day at Neighbors for Neighbors. For nearly 24 years, this nonprofit organization has been working with the community to help connect those in need with those who can actually help. Some connections are inspired by stories or programs that Neighbors is involved in. Sometimes the connections are life-altering. Our first connection is from a local company that had participated in our Adopt a Family program back during the holidays. They came back to us wanting to continue their spirit of giving in the new year after all of the holiday sparkle had melted away. Neighbors for Neighbors was able to connect them with the Broward County Schools Heart program. They identified 5 students who, in spite of having experienced homelessness, were able to overcome that challenge and fulfill the dream of going to college. JPay is a local company that provides many services for inmates and their families. They know the value of coming together to help others, and they did just that. Their staff and management collected gift cards and also purchased all of the items that a college student needs for their dorm, like bedding, towels, toiletries, school supplies, snacks, and even, hey, a dustbuster for keeping everything nice and neat. And the best part is each student was given a brand new laptop. And to top it off, they get a really sweet looking backpack to carry it in from class to class. The students had no idea what they were coming to the JPay office for that day, but their gratitude quickly was felt as they saw all of the wonderful things that were laid out there for them, personalized right down to the accessories for the college they're attending.
I'm definitely excited to graduate high school, finally. I didn't have the greatest high school experience, as others did, but what came out of it was amazing, a full ride scholarship to UM, I'm excited for that. I can finally move on to bigger and better things. You guys got me by surprise. You guys did a great job. This was amazing. There's everything I need here. I won't have to work for anything, and it's amazing.
We are honored to connect people in our community like this every day. The stories show the power of coming together. These items, each small, collected and given to these students, will have an impact that we hope will change the course of their lives. Neighbors for Neighbors is committed to helping the homeless in our community and bringing awareness to the many vital programs and organizations right here in South Florida that work day and night in all kinds of weather to help these neighbors. CBS 4 investigative reporter Michelle Gillen shares with you now a story about a mobile medical team that brings health care to those on the streets who really need it the most.
To you and I, he's a faceless stranger. A man who was living in a discarded cardboard box, nudged in a doorway on a busy downtown Miami street. This morning, responding to a lifeline and offer of help. Miguelito, as he's known, and dozens of others like him, are searched for every morning and attended to by a unique medical and outreach team that scours the Magic City streets. Rain or shine, they bring a new wave of doctoring to the streets. They bandage wounds and lives. They are the face of the Lazarus Project.
For this team, there is an urgent mission. It is delivering help and hope to the most chronic of homeless, so many of them suffering from mental illness, some of them on the streets for decades or more.
Everybody here cares about the people that we're trying to help.
It's a novel idea, slowly changing the paradigm and price tag of addressing chronic homelessness and its nexus with mental illness and the costs of hospitalization and often incarceration. In a recent homeless trust count of the homeless population on Miami-Dade streets, some 64% were identified as having serious mental illnesses.
One of the most important programs we fund now is a program called the Lazarus Project.
Ron Book, president of the Homeless Trust.
Understanding we're not going to get all the chronic people off the streets, and understanding the vast majority of the chronic population have mental health related issues. We make sure they're getting their prescriptive medicines. We make sure their health care needs are being met on the streets.
The team searches for clues to lives that are hanging in the balance.
We're talking to them every day.
The project is the brainchild of Lazarus Project, a 20-year veteran of Miami's homeless assistance program. Devoted, driven, he goes where many wouldn't venture. Amid torrential rains, the team is driven to locate Jesse to administer a shot that has stabilized his world. After 2 decades of living on the streets and struggling with mental illness, at first he used to run away from the team.
The first time I saw him was walking right up Flagler Street, and he was scared of us.
Now he comes to them.
He's doing good. Yeah. He's doing really well. Yeah, actually. He's very calm. He doesn't want to go back into the shelter. I think he's managed to stay out of the hospital, and he's managed to stay out of jail.
The Lazarus Project committed to doing it. One round, one visit, one pair of old sneakers, one emptied cardboard box at a time.
These street teams work even further to help get these fragile people off the streets and into programs that'll help them get a roof over their heads. You can join our commitment to helping the many faces of the homeless by volunteering at helpingfeelsgood.org. New opportunities are added every single day. These stories are just the beginning. Stay with us as we share more with you when Neighbors for Neighbors Summer Special continues.
Coming up, we'll meet a mother who never gave up even when everything was falling apart around her, even the walls of her home. We'll also share with you how to keep you and your kids safe this summer. Plus, get ready to help thousands of children get what they need for back to school.
Welcome back to the Neighbors for Neighbors Summer Special. I'm Cynthia Demas. We'd like to introduce you to a single mom who was formerly in foster care. Through a program called Educate Tomorrow, she was able to build a life for herself, get a great job, and even buy a house. But the house wasn't really in such great shape, and although she hired someone else to fix it, the problems turned out to be bigger than she could handle. But she never gave up, even after a condition left her permanently disabled. Still, she kept on going. No matter her struggles, she worked hard to make a home for her and her daughter. And when she reached out to Neighbors for Neighbors, we rallied the same people who helped her not so long ago, and they rallied even more. And now she's on the road to recovery. Volunteers from Educate Tomorrow came out and helped clear her home of everything in it, sort it out, and prepare it for her to return after the repairs were done.
I hadn't seen Jacqueline for many years, and with our program, not seeing a student for many years is a lot of times a great thing, because you know that they're doing well and they're achieving. And in her case, she was working as a pharmaceutical technician for about 7 or 8 years with Publix Pharmacy, and did extremely well there. In fact, it was at Publix where she was able to get enough money to save enough money to actually purchase a foreclosed home, which is where we are today.
Thank you, thank you.
So
I appreciate it.
We're going to do a fresh start. Jade is Jacqueline's daughter, and she is an amazing young woman herself. She's extremely involved in Miami Music Project and Breakthrough Miami. Breakthrough Miami brought also a few volunteers today to help out, and it really just shows that this is a huge community effort. In fact, it took a lot for Jackie to ask for this kind of help. And it was Lynn Cameron from CBS 4, Neighbors for Neighbors, who said, you know, what's going on with this family, that inspired me to come over and see, you know, what the conditions actually were. And I came over and I looked at the property and the condition that they were living, and it just really broke my heart And Brett and I decided that, you know, we needed to mobilize the team to see what we could do to at least help in a little way.
We want to take a look at what it really is needed on the construction side, but also, you know, I think today was really to lift Jackie's spirits and show her that there are, in fact, a lot of people that really do care a lot about her, and that we are happy that she trusted us into her home to be able to help, because I think that's one of the inhibiting factors sometimes when situations get so dire, is you don't want to let people in to help you. And the fact that she let us in to help her today, hopefully this is just the beginning.
This house was a foreclosure. It was owned by Fannie Mae, and to keep the property up was so expensive that they sold it to me for little of nothing. And I saw it as a great investment for me and my daughter to move into. Well, what happened was when the realtor sold me the house, when we moved in, everything looked great. I didn't know that it had termites, the roof was leaking, so the floors were bad. I actually hired some people around the neighborhood to do work for me, and they didn't really know what they were doing, so I wasted money trying to fix this house up, and they didn't really have knowledge of a historic house because it's so old, and actually ended up ruining most of the house because, like, the beam is messed up, everything's messed up in the house, as you can see. And it has been such a headache and saddened by this situation that I just hope that everything will get fixed. Oh man, Jade is a unique child. She's nothing like me. Jade has actually maintained honor roll, surprisingly, through the situation, with me not walking, with me being sick. Jade actually helps me clean up. I think sometimes she doesn't want to come home, sometimes. And it's not, so what I did was I went to the dollar store and I tried to make the area nice where we could just stay in one area. And I put a little temporary AC, and I said, well, you know what, we don't have to use the rest of the house, we'll just use this one room. So for 4 years we've been using one room.
Her daughter Jade was surprised to see everything that had happened at the house while she was away at school. Her mom and the team were excited to share her remodeled room with her. Jacqueline's daughter Jade is also very talented and plays the French horn for the Miami Music Project. The team from Breakthrough Miami was called in, as well as they stopped by to share some exciting news in person.
City Furniture is going to do something.
City Furniture is going to, yes, so Breakthrough called them this morning, and we're going to figure out what your greatest need is.
Okay.
And you'll tell us, and we'll put in the request, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. My pleasure.
Even with the house in such disrepair, she worked very hard to make her own oasis, planting and pruning to make a beautiful place of her own for her daughter, and to escape those literally crumbling walls. Her message to remember, inscribed on a plaque in her garden: if you always give, you will always have. This is just the beginning. CBS 4's Neighbors for Neighbors and our partners are working to get the much needed repairs done to her home, and we promise to share the outcome with you, and we're sure you'll love it. It is all about partnerships. It's about people coming together to help others, sometimes with volunteers, other times with $1 or $2 at the register. It can seem like just a little bit when they ask you for that $1 or $2 when you're checking out, but it really adds up to a lot and can help so many organizations. In April, Neighbors for Neighbors was honored to be awarded more than $30,000 at the annual Publix Food for All Awards ceremony.
The Food for All campaign is something that we're very passionate about, and on behalf of all of our associates who really are the ones on the front lines educating our customers about the power of this program, we're really grateful for them. And we're really grateful that the generosity of customers like you are what make this program possible. We're really excited because this year we raised $1.4 million. Very impressive. in just 3 weeks' time. Food for All has been a long-time program that we do in partnership with our customers. It's really the generosity of our customers that fuels the power behind this program. Neighbors for Neighbors for years and years was one of our first recipients, and every year we come back to this luncheon. It's a reunion of sorts, and it's a great way for us to support the many organizations of our community that hope to eradicate food insecurity. And Neighbors for Neighbors does that in a variety of different ways. So we are so honored to be able to support that great organization and all of the partner agencies here today as well.
Thank you again to those who give each day to help your neighbors. Your support makes really a world of difference to those in need. And you can help at any time when you register on helpingfeelsgood.org, our volunteer matching site that is there waiting for you. By registering, you will assist our nonprofit partners who have projects available for skilled volunteers just like you. Well, keeping kids safe during the summer and all year long is one of our top priorities. Along with our partners at Children's Services Council of Broward County, we want to remind you of some very important safety tips and make you aware of the resources that are available for you at no cost at all. First is something many aren't aware of. It's called the ABCs of safe sleep. Babies should be alone, on their backs, in an empty crib, ABC. When we skip any of these steps, like letting them sleep in bed with us or maybe with their favorite stuffed animal, we put our babies at risk. And sadly, nearly one baby dies every other week in our community because of these unsafe sleep practices.
Some parents have the wrong impression that the kids are cold at nighttime, that they have to be sort of bundled or comforted more or placed in extra clothes. It's very important to understand that overheating and rebreathing are mechanisms whereby kids can actually die from sudden infant death syndrome.
Every year, stories of children forgotten in cars and the tragic results stream across the news. The Look Before You Lock campaign is working to stop these headlines from even occurring. It's easy to get distracted and forget our little ones are sitting or maybe even sleeping quietly in the back seat. With South Florida's year-round hot weather, our cars get roasted in the sun and take just minutes to reach those really deadly high temperatures. Children are especially vulnerable because their body temperatures actually rise a lot quicker than ours do. So being left in a car, even on a seemingly cool day, will really affect them a lot more dramatically. There are simple ways to protect your kids, such as placing your briefcase or your purse in the back seat and always checking the back seat before you lock your vehicle. There are even alarms and some free apps that can alert you when your child has been left behind. Those same rising temperatures have South Floridians flocking to beaches, pools, and lakes as a way to keep cool. There's nothing more fun than splashing around in the water on a hot day, but water can also be dangerous. With lakes and pools around every corner in South Florida, water safety is key for every family. Even a bathtub with just a little bit of water in it can pose a risk to a child. Make sure your child is always under adult supervision. It takes no time at all for a tragedy to occur. Teaching your child to be safe in and near the water is very easy to do, and it's never too early or too late to learn. There are so many programs throughout South Florida that are available all year round to help you be water smart. Just log on to our website, neighborsforneighbors.org, to find information on all of these safety programs and helpful tips that will keep everyone safe this summer and all year long. Definitely do it. Well, it seems as soon as the school year ends, then we're already getting ready for the next school year. Summer goes by in a flash. Students begin gathering supplies, getting a new backpack since last year's really took a beating. But not all kids will have this luxury. Many of them start school without any supplies at all. With a small donation of just $35, Neighbors for Neighbors can ensure a needy child will start the new school year with uniforms, shoes, and a backpack full of school supplies, only $35. Additionally, you can donate any extra supplies that you might have. There are also locations to drop them off and help offset the burden on our hard-working teachers. To make that donation of just $35, log on to Neighbors for Neighbors, that's neighborsforneighbors.org, and help us child really start the school year out the right way, ready for success. Also, did you know the football field isn't the only place the Miami Dolphins score? They do so off the field. They are committed to the community that cheers them on, and every year we are honored to help them connect with needy families and bring them together for that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to shop with a Fin.
It's a race to the register. Miami Dolphins players down and out through the aisles of this plantation Publix, scoring a touchdown with Neighbors for Neighbors for needy families. Linebacker Kiko Alonso showed his best defensive move, navigating the vegetable aisle with Katrina Jackson and her 3 kids.
He actually gave us an idea about some sausage, so we're going to try the sausage that he likes.
It was actually fun.
It was fun.
The good stuff is the meat and spaghetti.
I think they might have their pantry and fridge packed for the next few months. I mean, I don't know how much those kids eat, but yeah, they got a lot of food and they seem very happy, and you know, it's just great.
Teammate Jelani Jenkins tackled the meat department with the Watsons and their 7 daughters.
As parents, it's a struggle because at the end of the day, we have to feed them. If we don't,
it's all about working together,
right.
Just keeping them happy, no matter what it takes.
Each family is given $250 to spend, but sometimes it ends up being more, and the fins make up the difference.
That's awesome. I want to thank the Dolphins and you guys for helping us and giving us the chance to do this. I mean, it's a lot of help.
What's harder, the team workout or the shopping expedition?
Maybe the shopping expedition. It was definitely harder to keep 7 kids and 3 different carts, you know, in one line. That was pretty difficult, but it was fun though.
Food for thought. It's year 4 of Shop with a Fin. The grand total, many happy families. In Plantation, Joan Murray, CBS 4 News.
Year after year, when the players meet the families, they create memories that change them forever, really. We're honored to continue to make these connections every single year. The impact made by the generosity of the Miami Dolphins and Publix not only fills the carts, but also the hearts of every person there that day. We hope it inspires you as well. Well, during the break, take a minute and register on helpingfeelsgood.org right now and see how you can have your turn to make a difference in the community.
Coming up after the break, some fantastic stars made their voices heard live on stage at the rockingest fundraiser held at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood. Then, a one-of-a-kind national park lays right off our shores, filled with life, adventure, and sunken treasure.
Welcome back to Neighbors for Neighbors annual summer special. For the 2nd year in a row, some fabulous stars joined me on stage at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, all to support this amazing, fantastic organization. One by one, stars were auctioned off to the highest bidder. You know, whoever paid the most got to actually sing with them. These fantastic stars came from all over the community, lending their time and their talent to raise much-needed funds for Neighbors for Neighbors. CBS 4 meteorologist Lisette Gonzalez graced the stage. She wowed the crowd with her amazing voice. She's really a terrific singer. She was followed by the vocal stylings of CBS 4 sports guru Jim Barry. Have you ever heard him sing or dance? He's amazing. We were thrilled to have the morning team of Toast and Ashley from 104.3 The Shark. They were also quite hilarious here. They went head-to-head in support of Neighbors for Neighbors. They had a little competition of their own. Community leaders like Cindy Ehrenberg-Seltzer from the Children's Services Council of Broward County wowed the crowd with her talent. Marketing guru Rixis Alfonso from Cosmo Marketing showed her passion for fun on stage too. And then, hey, of course I got in on the action. I got to host it. I got to sing it. I loved it.
Neighbors for Neighbors was started when we were in a really difficult place right after Hurricane Andrew. And the beautiful thing about Neighbors, it didn't go away once South Florida got rebuilt. It realized that the need goes on, and that's why its work goes on. And so I'm so proud to be a part of the effort to help them raise money to keep doing what they do.
And we did have a great time. It went a little late in the night, too. The night wouldn't have been possible without the support of our sponsors at the Hard Rock Cafe. Thank you very much. 104.3 The Shark and CBS 4 made this night possible as well. What a great time everyone had together. The donations from all of those who attended were able to keep the work we do every day right here in South Florida going strong. Thank you to everyone who supported us and had a great time too. Now we go from the stars to the sea to visit a watery treasure right in our own backyard, along with our partners at the Herbert W. Hoover Foundation. We'd like to introduce you to Biscayne National Park. Deemed a national park in 1961, the park's history actually goes back 10,000 years with evidence of historical artifacts unearthed on land and sea. The park protects one of the largest coral reef tracts in the United States, as well as the longest stretch of mangrove forest in the U.S. as well. Now, the clear, shallow waters of Biscayne Bay, the northernmost Florida Keys, and 10,000 years of human history, from sea life and vegetation found nowhere else to historical shipwrecks that house not only their hidden treasure, but a haven for the animals and plants, call these warm waters their home. The park hosts not only these aquatic creatures, but the millions who flock to its shores every year. From guided tours to boating and fishing, and most importantly, education and preservation, Biscayne National Park works each day to conserve this watery wonderland that a lot of people have never even had a chance to go visit. The Herbert W. Hoover Foundation's founder was instrumental in establishing this park to help conserve its beauty and importance to our ecosystem and shoreline protection. Over the next few months, we'll travel deeper into this historic area and show you why so many care for this very special place, including us. You can be a part of that care by registering at helpingfeelsgood.org. Volunteering is a great way to make a lasting impact on our community, and there are some new opportunities added to the site all the time you'll want to check out. Well, coming up this fall, we are excited to announce the return of our annual costume drive. It's called Operation Candy Corn. For the past 3 years, we've collected nearly 5,000 costumes for kids in our community who, without the donation, would not have a costume on Halloween. So it is a great program. If you would like to be part of this year's costume drive, it is so easy. You can either be a collector or a nonprofit recipient. Go to our event page on neighborsforneighbors.org. You can read all of the details and download the participation form. It is just that easy. We thank you again for joining us today, and we'd like to thank you once more for your support. Over the past 24 years, we have learned how much we all need each other and take pride in being able to make connections such as the ones we've shared with you today. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, the Herbert Hoover Foundation, the South Florida CBS TV stations, CBS 4 and My TV 33, the Children's Services Council of Broward County, Infrasol, and Berkowitz Pollock Brandt. With the generous support of our partners, we are able to continue our mission of connecting those in need with those who can help. To help strengthen that support even more, please consider making a donation on our website today, neighborsforneighbors.org. We will see you back here in just a few months with more stories of hope for Neighbors for Neighbors. I am Cynthia Demas. Thank you so much for joining us.